How to find English-speaking jobs in Germany as a foreigner. This is actually one of the most common questions we receive. So we were thinking, why not making a video out of this topic? My name is Manuel and I, together with Uan, created Growing Abroad to help skilled foreigners find jobs in Germany, empowering them to make their dream of living in Germany and Europe come true, and of course to learn about German culture. And in this video, you will learn super important tips when looking for English-speaking jobs in Germany. So let's start right away. First of all, let's quickly dive into the topic. If there are actually English-speaking jobs, or if you always need German if you want to find a job. That's actually also the biggest complaint that foreigners always face: the German language requirement. There are English-speaking jobs in Germany. We personally have a lot of friends who only work in English and never had to use German in their career. And one, for example, who is doing Growing Abroad with me, he is from Brazil, and he never spoke any German at work in his 11 years of working in Germany. And we already coached a lot of foreigners who got English-speaking jobs with our help. So we have proof there are English-speaking jobs. But of course, there are also a lot of jobs which require German, as we are in Germany. Makes sense, right? So the number one tip I can give you is to focus your job search only on English-speaking jobs. This is super important. We coached a lot of foreigners who wanted English-speaking jobs but looked for every job in their area, including German-speaking jobs. This will just make you very frustrated. Focus on companies who also hire English speakers. But which companies do that actually? There are a lot, and it gets more and more. The German job market is facing a labor shortage right now, so they will need around 400,000 skilled people from abroad each year. So the business language changes a lot to English at the moment, especially at big companies like Allianz, Siemens, Bosch, Apple, Amazon, and so many more. You maybe want to argue now, well, but I looked at jobs and they all require German. That's not true. You just looked at the wrong jobs. Of course, all these companies also have jobs which require German. But on the same time, they also have a lot of jobs for English speakers. Also depends on your area of work. In some areas, there are more English-speaking jobs than in other areas. Where you won't find English-speaking jobs are probably very traditional German companies. So this is also something which you should consider. Next to big international companies, also a lot of startups have English-speaking jobs. Startups are usually very hip, young, fresh, international. So there you will also find a great chance to find English-speaking jobs. Tip number 2, use the right job portals in a right way. There are a lot of job portals in Germany which all have German-speaking and English-speaking jobs to offer. Now it is time to use them in the right way. Okay, first I will give you the names of the job portals to use. LinkedIn, Stepstone, Indeed, Arbeit Now, EnglishJobs.de. So these are the most important to use when looking for English-speaking jobs. Of course, there are still so many more. Now, when looking for a job on these platforms, you need to filter correctly. It sounds very easy and still many people do it wrong. Only filter for English-speaking jobs. On the top, you usually can filter for languages or areas of experience or other important categories. So take your time and go through these websites and filter for your profession and the language English. One secret tip is the platform Arbeit Now. It is great to filter for English-speaking jobs and also for jobs with visa sponsorship. Tip number 3, optimize your application documents in English. Yes, you heard it right. Probably most of you already do that, but we have seen so many foreigners trying to have a German application and trying to find English-speaking jobs. Doesn't make sense. When you want a job in English, then you have to have your application in English as well. Also, super important, you need to optimize your application documents into German standards. Otherwise, you won't get considered. That's the first part, the first step. You need to convince in paper in order to get invited. It doesn't matter how good you are. If your application documents are not ATS friendly, are not in German standards and not structured, then you won't get invited to interviews. Actually, that's the number one reason why foreigners fail in their job search and get rejections. I've seen tons of CVs and I can tell you, most people think they have a good CV, but in reality, it is not matching with the German standards. Before you apply, please do that. Otherwise, you will lose your chances. And if you don't know how to do that, get help. Invest in yourself to have success in your future, especially when you're skilled and get negative responses. This should be an alarm clock that probably something in your application needs to be optimized. Let's come to tip number 4. Learn about cultural differences. You probably heard it, but Germans are different. As all cultures are different, Germans as well have a unique and different cultural approach to certain things. I can tell you, as a German, sometimes Germans like people when they adapt to their culture. So when approaching for jobs, you need to have that in the back of your head. How to approach the hiring managers or the recruiters. If you are, for example, contacting people on LinkedIn, then you need to send the message in a way which is attractive to Germans. I can tell you, I received a lot of mails in the past and still from people all around the world, and I can tell you the approach is very different. It also depends on the personality, I know, but some cultures are more direct, some cultures have another understanding of being friendly, and a lot more differences. So I can tell you how Germans are. Germans like to be addressed formal and professional. Also, Germans like to be efficient. So you should only put relevant information in your messages. Germans are also super structured. So please have a structure in your approach. These are just some examples, but they're super important when contacting German companies for jobs. And tip number 5, be patient and persistent and stay positive. I know the job search can be a struggle and you will probably face rejections. This is part of the game. The most important thing is to stay persistent. When you have optimized application documents, continue applying. Sometimes it needs more than 100 applications to get one job, and sometimes it is the first application you send out that brings you the job. It can vary. So stay persistent and be patient. Actually, everybody we worked with from Growing Abroad who stayed persistent got a job in the end. So don't give up after one rejection. Reflect on it, optimize your approach, and try again. Never give up on yourself. There's always a way. Always stay positive. I know getting rejections is annoying and depressing, but you need to talk positive with yourself. Otherwise, you won't reach your goal. So be patient, persistent, and stay positive. Sooner or later, the right job will also come for you. So these were the 5 tips. Focus your job search on English-speaking jobs. Use the right job portals in a right way. Optimize your application documents into English. Learn about cultural differences and be patient and persistent and stay positive. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you need help to find English-speaking jobs as a professional, we are also there to help you. Below this video, you will find all our services, so just check them out if you need help. We would also be super happy if you could support us so that even more people can watch this video and learn. So just leave us a like, send it to a friend who needs to see it. And of course, if you haven't done it already, subscribe our channel so you won't miss any video. Each Friday, we post a new YouTube video. So see you next Friday and auf Wiedersehen.